And the fourth and final point in the fit for the master strategy is 4. It's the number 4. Declare 4 good things. The children of Israel, they complained so much that they never experienced what God promised. So, complaining is still the enemy's strategy to stop us from experiencing God's promises. You see, when we complain, we get stuck. There's no progress, and then we have this result. See, this doesn't work. But we counteract this complaining strategy. We counteract it with the strategy of gratitude by daily declaring 4 good things about this journey. Now, in this area of complaining, he gets us to complain by having us think that bad is good and good is bad. He wants us to think something like giving up eating habits or giving up foods that are deteriorating our health is a bad thing, like it's the worst thing in the world. When in fact, giving up these foods and exchanging them for the food plan God has for us is actually giving us our life back. It's the best thing for our life. He wants us to think it's a good idea to wait until you have more money or wait until a crisis is over before dealing with your weight. When in fact, waiting until we have money and continuing to sedate ourselves with food until we have more, it really keeps us in the very spiral that we want to get out of, thus causing us even more misery. He even wants us to think that losing half a pound in a week is a bad dag. All this work you did and all you did was lose a half a pound. Please, if he had his way in that same time, you would end up gaining 3 to 5 pounds. This complaining strategy that he has, he'll have you thinking bad is good and good is bad. And so we then have to combat with another strategy where we declare 4 good things. Because, see, every day the Lord made, it's important that we make a decision to rejoice and be glad in the things that God is doing, regardless of what you do, regardless of how you ate that day or what you did that day. Acknowledge God for the good that he is doing. Look for the good. Make sure you're able to see and acknowledge God for the good that he is doing. You will always hear me say, when people tell me, Sheila, you look so good, and I just look, you know what, thank God. One of my favorite worship songs is Leave Me Astounded, Leave Me Amazed. I look at my body, and I'm astounded and amazed at what God can do. I boast only in God because this is God's doing. This is not my doing. This is God's doing. And so I'm making it a point to boast, like Psalm says in 34:2, my soul make her boast in the Lord. I boast only in God. And because as I boast in God, then the humble, I hear myself. And as I boast only in God, I hear it. And as I hear it, I'm glad. It makes me glad. And in my gladness, it quiets it and it silences the complaining that gluttonous spirit. Dad, you can't have this no more. You go in there and look at everybody eating all of it. As I boast only in what God is doing, as I make it a point to intentionally declare 4 things. Let me make it through 4 things that I can boast about God. It silences the complaining that the enemy does, because his strategy to complain will keep me stuck. It will keep us stuck. It will keep us not progressing. It will keep us in this very spiral that we are trying to get out of. Boasting in the Lord. Boasting in the Lord, boasting about the goodness of what God is doing and the things that we're eating, boasting about the things that God is doing and how we eat, boasting about the things that he's showing us through his word, boasting about the things that we're hearing as we're connecting with people and as we're encouraging people and as we're being encouraged by other people, boasting in what God is doing. Silences the complaint, silences and steals and constrains the complaining that the enemy wants to put a muzzle on the complaining that the enemy wants to put in our ear. As that stuff gets